Hello everyone. In this video, I show you how to create a contact us form and send email to user using actions. First, I go to the admin panel. Then I go to the entity for creating an entity for storing data. I name the entity contact us. The name is contact us. And I will add some property. The first one is name and the data type is a string and the length is 250 and it is required, it's mandatory. The second one is email address and the type is a string and the length is 200 and it is required. Another property or column is subject. The type is a string and the length is 1000. The last one is the message and the type is a string and it is max. The length is max, so I will save the entity. As you can see, it's a table inside the DNN database, so the name is BPMS, contact us. And I go to the application page for creating a form. I name the form contact us. The group is as a default general and I save it. I go to the design and I will add 4 row using clicking on the row icon, and I add 4 input. The first one is name and it's required. The second one is email and the type of the input is email and it's required. The third one is subject and it's required. As you can see, you can change the icon of the input, so I will change it. And the last one is description. For message, the last one is message, and the type of the input or widget is multi-line. I will click on that, I check it and it's not required, so it's required and I save it. And I will add another row by clicking on this icon and for a button to save the data. As you can see, the type of the button should be submit for saving input inside the database after bounding the data, the widget to a variable. So the type is submit and the color is okay. Okay, I have to change the name and the name is send. Then I go to create a variable. As you can see, you can create variable using this, or you can go to the bounding tab and you click on this icon and click on new and make a variable, call it contact variable, and the data type of the variable is entity, and you can select your entity, it's contact us. And the where clause is id equal to @param id, because if you don't put a where query in this part, the variable will retrieve the last record inside the database. So I put a where query to avoid that, and I will save that, and I bound the name to the bound, and get from could be empty because when the user load this form it's empty, so there is no need to set get from, just save into. And I go to the email, and I go to the email binding tab, and I will select email, and I go to the subject and save into, select the subject, then I go to the message, okay, go to the message binding tab, and I click on message and save it, and it's done. You can see the preview of this form. As you can see, it's the preview of the form, and I go to the contact us page, and I will add single action module to this page for showing a form inside the DNM page. So I will say single action, and I go to the setting for selecting the form. I go to the last tab and I select application page, and I will select the form contacts us. And because this form and this page load Bootstrap version 4, I have to uncheck the load Bootstrap and load jQuery because of duplicate Bootstrap. But you should be careful. Your skin should have Bootstrap version 4, and if it doesn't, you have to check this inputs. I see it's the 4 as I designed. So I want to send an email after a user submit this form. So I go to the send button setting. So in coding tab, I click on design code. Then I can add actions, and I name these actions. It's a workflow, and I name this action send email. Then the action type is send email, and you can select other action, but I select send email. And in this form, from I select Easy-Bpm Outlook, and I will show you where I set this email, this from, and send it to a variable. This is email variable, and send this to this, and you can add other email after a comma, like test.outlook or other thing, but for now only one person. And the subject is test for subject, and the body could be HTML, and I think it's I add some HTML for sending email for the body of the email, and I will explain how you can set from, and I select on apply, and I save it, and I save the form. So after clicking on the send button, alongside with saving the user input inside the variable, it will send an email to the requester. So to check it, I go to the name and set it Taha, and the email is my email is the subject is test, the body is the message, just test body, test subject, test message. So after sending, It will send an email to the user. I will check that. But before that, as you saw, when I click on the send, nothing happened for the form. So for this, you can go to the setting and you can go to the last tab and add your custom message. So I select, I put some HTML on that and I close. Then I try to send another email. Subject is test. This is message. And as you can see, we will respond to your request as soon as possible. So instead of staying on this form, this will show a message as you define. So I go to my email. As you can see, this is my email. So it sends the email and you can add other message for a button like sending for showing a message to the user by right click on action and click on add action, go to this and let's say show a message, set the name and you can click add success, and on this you can click on this value and you can see the parameters and value. You have to set message parameters and you can select between variable, static text, form control, URL parameter and systemic parameter. So I select static and this is test. I select on apply, I save, I save the form and I send another test. Subject is test, the message is test, and as you can see this message have been shown. So it's very easy to work. Now I will show you how to create an email account or add an email account to send an email from that. First I go to the admin panel and I go to the setting. In the setting you select the email accounts. In this page you can add your custom email account. As you can see, I add 2 email accounts before. Easy-Bpms @outlook.com, taha.cod @gmail.com, and you have to set SMTP port and email and password. So after you setting that, you can select that in the application page and I go to the contact us and I go to the button setting and in the coding as you saw I select Easy-Bpm @outlook.com in the from. So this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching this.